Davies in the middle. Checks back against Carter and scores. That is atypical for the Myanmar goal.
Quickly gets it back again. Oh, what a goal! Well, that sums up her season. The Gunners are WSL champions.
And welcome back to Vic Akers Wonderland. It's the end of the 2023-2024 season. It's finally arrived. I'm a bit upset. I'm a bit relieved. It's been a very... As always, I'm joined by my co-conspirators, Matt and Adam. Matt, how are you? And how is the wonderful Liverpool? I hope you haven't seen as much rain as I have today.
Oh, oddly enough, the rain's scheduled for Wednesday and Thursday, so it'll probably come further up. But it is nice and sunny. Although I am inside and wearing a hat, the only reason that is because, in the famous words of Chloe Lacasse, my noggin is huge and I need to cover it. So yeah. But yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a very mixed emotions for a lot of people, and yeah, fun and games.
No, absolutely. Speaking of sunshine, over in sunny Spain at this point in time, our other co-conspirator is an hour ahead of us currently. Adam, how are you? And what are you doing over in Spain at the minute?
Hello, London. This is Barcelona calling, and our 12 points goes to the United Kingdom. Yes, I'm in sunny Spain because whilst we're sort of licking our lips at the end of the season, there's a Champions League final to watch in Bilbao. So I'm having a nice holiday over here and soaking up the Spanish weather. And let me tell you, it's been fantastic. Clear blue skies, plenty of sun to go around, and the city here, Barcelona, is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, very much enjoying some well-earned rest after what's been quite I'd say, stressful season at times.
No, absolutely. A lot of content's come out over the last 24 hours, 48 hours of Arsenal. I got a bit inspired by it. So I want you boys to describe this season in 3 words, and no more than 3 words, Adam. No more than 3. I know Matt can do it. I know you can't.
Does it have to be 3 different words? Because okay, I'm going to go disappointing. I would say growth and hope.
Matt?
Historical. Roller coaster. And that's a hard one. I will probably say tough.
Nick's one of my words there. I go with I think I go tough, unbelievable, heartbreaking, to sum it up at the tail end.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get into some news. Ex-Goonie Leo Goonie? What's a Goonie? Oh,
it's a film, isn't it? There was a few of them, weren't there?
Yeah, I know. Ex-Goonie Leon Meyer has retired with a guard of honour of Hoffenheim and Bayern Munich game. Defender joined Arsenal in the 2019-20 season. She made 25 league appearances under Joe Montemurro before moving on to Everton in 2021. I think my main question for you guys, do you guys remember her actually playing? Because obviously this was before my time, before I was watching women's football. I know she had an ACL at one point, but do you guys have any vague memories of her or a memory of her?
Sort of. I mean, ACL, well, I don't know, because I know she played both years. I think she had an ACL. I don't know if that was at Arsenal. It might have been before she arrived. She sort of came at the same time, I think, as like Jill Roord and Manu Zinsberger. But she didn't really impact the team. And I think the problem she had was like the likes of Katie McCabe was so good at left back when needed to slot in. And I don't think she probably settled in the team. And then the following season, we signed Steph Catley. So you had Steph Catley and Katie McCabe and Leonie Meyer sort of jostling for that sort of left back position. And Leonie Meyer couldn't get a way in. played a handful of games. I only went to 2 games during that 2019-20 era, so it's highly possible I saw her play, but I think it says a lot that she didn't really make the impact that maybe we'd hoped. But she was original. She was our original tiny tank. I mean, that's the moniker we've given to Lotte Wubben-Moy. But she was our original tiny tank.
I remember a little bit more from her time at Everton because there was a couple of games that I did manage to see her in, but she was one of those players that would come off around the 60th or 70th minute. So it was always kind of hard to judge what you know from her from only a couple of games, but I'm sure she's got a lot of memories of her time. And to retire, how old was she? Is it just turning 30, I think, as well?
Nope, she's about 2 weeks older than me. So, and I'm not going to reveal my age on this podcast.
Okay, so early 20.
Adam, don't you dare.
She did score against Man City last season on the final day to help keep that goal difference down when we were trying to get scrape into the Champions League in 3rd place. So even though she had long left the club, she was still helping us out, albeit from Everton.
It's one of those where you think that the player's just younger than she is, and fortunately, just injuries are the way it goes. I mean, Marlon Groot ended up with a lot of ACL injury, and eventually she retired at 22. It's just one of those things, unfortunately.
Tabia came here as well. Another one, a lot of affection the fans have for. An injury just ruined her, and she fell out of the game. And it's a real shame because these players had, I won't say they're talented, but they had the huge potential to be really talented players, and we've lost them forever. It's a real shame.
No, absolutely. On to a bit more news. Lotte Wubben-Moy is the Arsenal player of the season, as voted for by the fans. Unfortunately, she missed out on the WSL player of the season to the one and only Bunny Shaw. We all know why she gets WSL player of the season. Her goals speak for herself. Just another little update on Lotte. She has pulled out of the England squad. England camp coming up due to a foot injury, but she will rejoin the squad in June. The Arsenal women's squad has been announced for the Australia game. Well, the Australia tour or game.
It's a friendly. It's a one-off weird game, isn't it? Yeah.
But there are absences of Beth Mead, Stina Blackstenius, Lotte Wubben-Moy, Leah Williamson, and obviously Manu Zinsberger. We all know what's going on there. Fingers crossed everything goes well, Manu. The full squad flying to Australia is Emily Fox, Steph Catley, Kim Little, Frida Liarton-Mornham, Katie McCabe, Caitlin Ford, Victoria Pelova. Katrin Cool has been recalled. She's come home. Alessia Russo, Chloe Lacasse, Taya Goldie, Kyra Cooney-Cross, Naomi Williams, Sarah Bahadi, Vivian Leah, Katie Reid, Maddie L, and Freya Godfrey. And also, Layla Harbert has been called back from the under-17 Euros. I believe, Matt, you've got some news on that front for me.
Yes, it all unfortunately came to a sad end with a 2-0. It was 4-0 defeat against Spain. It looked almost very similar to how Barcelona play. In the end, it was just attack after attack, and there was no way you could win the ball back. And it was just a bit of a shame. Leah Harbert was captain in the side at the time, so she's had to basically pack her bags up at the weekend, come back home. By the time she's come back home, she's got the call. Oh, by the way, don't pack up again because you're basically on the plane heading to Australia. So bit difficult, but I'm looking forward to this one because there's quite a lot of the youngsters going out there. So maybe it'll be a chance to maybe say we don't need to buy in this area because we've got a Casey Reid, we've got a Leah Harbert. I think Michelle Agaman is also on that list as well.
No, Michelle's at home.
She's not.
Is she not? Okay.
Home.
Doing her A-levels.
Yep.
Okay, that's
been left
probably
here,
why.
unfortunately. But I think an interesting name on that list for me, Adam, is Sarah Bahadi.
Yes. So someone sent me a picture about this. They said, "Oh, they're off to Australia." And I didn't read twig because Bahadi's gone from my mind. She was there as an emergency. She's gone. To suddenly see her in the team sheet, and Arsenal kind of snookered themselves because they binned off the 2 keepers before they go on a tour, and now suddenly they have no keepers. Obviously, Naomi Williams is sort of floating around, but she's a youth product. hasn't really played for Arsenal. So basically, we're going to start a keeper either way that hasn't played for Arsenal in this tour. I mean, it is a bit bonkers. I hope they give, in sort of true friendly style, I hope they give both keepers at the half, if you will.
That's what Sylvain thinks is going to happen. Sylvain Hanno, the French journalist that's well known.
I would hope they do that, and then it's the youth products, and it will be interesting because we are, some players have departed, like Viv, the two goalkeepers. There are now spaces in the squad because obviously we were oversubscribed originally, and there might be a gap for one of those young players to make a move into the first team. So we hear a lot about the talent of these players, and I think was it Katie Reid? I think was it against Bristol? She came off the bench, Bristol City. She made her debut. Yes. We've seen, obviously Michelle hasn't come up, but I remember last season we had like Michelle,
Freya Godfrey,
and now Taya Goldie. Taya Goldie's one that she's been out constantly with ACL injuries. I'd like to see her play for Arsenal in the first team, and this could be a good opportunity because people rate Taya very highly. And if she has a good game against, obviously it's Australian All Stars, it's not a WSL game. The stakes are friendly, the stakes different. But if you show enough in this game, and we've got more friendlies around the corner in America as well. There could be an opportunity for somebody to make that jump, and that'll be really good.
That's another point as well, is because Taya has had that ACL. We actually have seen her in the past in the Mind series. This was during just sort of lockdown, where we played Chelsea and Tottenham. So there have been times where some of these players have been able to play and some of them haven't. But I'm going to be interested to see how it goes.
I think the two players I really want to have maybe three I want to get a closer look at is Taya Goldie, because I still haven't seen her play, and also Freya Godfrey. She's caught my eye. I think I want a bit more, and also Katie Reid. I think I'm hoping to see some more minutes of them as well as our favourites. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more of Katrin Cool as well and see how she's sort of developed over in Everton. Although I have been quietly watching Everton when she is playing. Another bit of news: Patrick Winqvist.
Winqvist.
Yeah,
we'll call him Patrick.
Thank you, Adam. Our set piece coach is set to leave the club. Is this any surprise to us after this season, Matt?
No.
I think we were talking off how we're trying to figure out what set pieces have gone really well, and I think we only came up with the one against Man United, which was hit the ball low, and it ended up being a lone goal. Yeah. So it just goes to show you.
I think you could count, or maybe I'd say one hand, maybe two at a push. I think off the top of my head, I'm thinking Illicit in WSL at least, Illicit against Chelsea, Russo against West Ham, the own goal, you could say, if again Man United, the
only one I can think of is the set piece against Watford in the No More
in the FA Cup.
And Illicit's header,
Yeah, that was the FA Cup, obviously. And there's a few in the Conti Cup, but then the other two I think of is Stina's equaliser at Man City, and then that freak own goal against Brighton. But I mean, even if you're counting, the own goals and the bits we've had extra head tennis, 5 goals from set pieces in the entire season is just not good enough. And that the problem is amplified when you look at the men's team and you see how Arsenal men have become so notorious at set pieces. It was one of the reasons we were able to push Man City all the way to the end. It's all about the marginal gains. Arteta trying to do that with, all the different parts of the game. We want to be the best at heading, at set pieces, at passing, etc. And this is, I always say that we didn't finish third place because we were rubbish at set pieces. We didn't not win the WSL because our set piece was rubbish. But it massively impacts our season that we couldn't take advantage of so many opportunities when we had corners. It got to the point where we just didn't trust. The corner came in. I was like, I've got no faith that we're going to score from this. I mean, we were at the Spurs game when we had, and the corners were coming in left, right, and centre, and nothing was happening. They were going over the bar. They were headed away, and the biggest contribution there's 2 big contributions. One, he came in, and I think Rafaeli triggered that own goal against Chelsea in the cup final last season, and also the fact he just roly-polies in front of the trophy at full time when they're doing the celebrations. I'm not surprised. I called it out weeks ago that our set pieces weren't up to snuff. I hope they get someone in who, I don't say we have to be, that's point to be the best set piece team in the world, but just a team that can convert from set pieces. We've got Leah Williamson, Lotte Wubben-Moy, Amanda, if she comes back at some point next season, we don't know how that's going to work, but she's great in the air. Russo's great in the air. Stina's great in the air. We've got a lot of aerial talent that is badly being underutilised, and hopefully a shuffle up of the coaching staff, and we can get someone in who can direct our corners better.
How many goals would you want to score next season?
Double figures.
Yeah,
double
I
figures
was
would be
thinking
nice.
minimum of about 10 next season would be nice.
I think you've got a 22 game season
Plus Champions League, plus FA
Well, yeah,
Cup,
well,
plus country cup.
yeah.
It
So
should be well into double figures minimum.
If it's WSL, I would say somewhere between 10 and 15 is pretty good. 10 and 15. I mean, if you get 15 to 20, you're rocking. But I think that might be a bit,
We don't
outreach.
have Bunny Shaw.
We don't have Bunny Shaw, exactly, and we don't have Sam Kerr. We don't have Ramirez. We do have Russo and
But
Stina.
we do have Stina.
We do Stina. So
that's
I
the
think
other thing as well as penalties.
10
is
to
that
15.
we usually have Kim on penalties, and Kim usually puts them away, doesn't she?
but that's I don't think a set piece coach is using penalties. It's more about the free kicks and the balls whipped in and the corners. I would say 10 to 15 I would say in my eyes is a good average for set piece goals from like corners and stuff. And hopefully we can get a coach in who can give us that.
No, absolutely. So as soon as we know who's replaced him, we will let you know. Speaking of Stina Blackstenius, I do apologise to everyone for my voice, guys. I'm still not recovered from doing 2 games in 2 days. It does squeak. But speaking of Stina Blackstenius, she's renewed her contract. I'm quite happy about this one, but I'm also quite annoyed, especially with one of my co-conspirators at this point. I had an Arsenal shirt in my hands the other week, and I said, I hinted at Adam, can you give me a hint if she's going to stay or not? Did he tell me? No, he did not. So I've now got to wait for my new Arsenal shirt. But
and I told you, hang on. Before we go in, can I say for the case of defence? No, you can't. As case of defence, I told you the journalists are saying she's signing. Do you trust them or not? And you didn't trust the journalists. So
I don't trust it unless it comes from you. You know that. Because you're normally right.
You can't trust me either. You can't trust me either then.
No, it was all positive signs, but I was just holding off because the amount of money I pay for an authentic football shirt, I've got to be careful. So I'm not getting more than one. That's it. What's your favourite Stina Blackstenius moment so far, Matt?
As in her entire career, we're talking about.
Oh no, at Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah.
Matt.
Oh, cool. There's been moments where I can say that's unforgivable, where I keep on bringing it up, where she blasted it straight up at the the Zurich goalkeeper's head instead of chipping it over. But she's had some fantastic moments. I think if I had to think of one that's in my head, fortunately it's a goal that I missed. Man United get a goal where Viv plays a lovely through ball, and it's just very, very typical for 1-on-1, and you just put it past the goalkeeper. No ifs, no buts.
That was the first goal in this delicate, wasn't it, from this season?
No, the one at Meadow Park. Her first game.
Her first ever goal. I've gone for sort of more obscure one, but iconic nonetheless, because I could just go for the goals in the cup finals or some of the crucial.
That's the easy cop out.
Yeah, or the clutch goals, but no, I'm going for the goal she scored away at Aston Villa this season. When she missed, she fell over, she handled the ball, she picked herself up, she scored it away, she ran off and celebrated, and Rachel Daly gets booked for protesting. I mean, second place we should say is the spin, the dummy, the spin, and then shoot against Brighton away when she was like a child, like racking up the power before hitting it into the top corner.
I better find another goal.
Can I just throw this one out there? She scored some really good goals against Wolfsburg over both legs. Home and away. I think the best one was probably the one what gave us the lead at the Emirates, where she's both the goalkeeper and Froms and I can't remember the goalkeeper. It might be Janssen gets confused, and Stina just goes, "All right, I'll take that." Pokes the ball past, spins around, and just taps it into the back of the.
I would go for that game. I'll go for the goal that never was. That moment in the second half when she slams it in and Maritz is offside by that much, and I just think that was that That will stay with me, that one, because that was a moment where just for a few seconds we thought there's something could happen here, but it wasn't to be, obviously. So what's yours then, Lottie?
It's got to be that first away kick goal from Stina past Mary Earps this season. I did like that one just because it went past Mary Earps and just because it went past Man United, and it was just it was the start of the comeback, and then Chloe Cass got her first goal not soon after. So yeah, it's got to be that one for me for this season. Although all of Stina's goals are absolutely bloody brilliant, but it's that one that stands out for me. Obviously, I've been in the North Bank several times when she's scored for cup games in the winter, and
you were there for the hat trick. You were in the North Bank for the Villa hat trick. I mean...
if you let me finish my bloody sentence, yeah, I was getting there. Thank you for that. I was there for one of the hat tricks, and yeah, she's just so smiley. So the energy she just brings to the pitch it's something a little bit different, and I feel in terms of coming off the bench and people up top, no one else brings that to the table, as well as her goal poaching, which I love because it's unique to her game. It's not built like she's not like everyone else. She brings something different to the table for the likes of Kerr, Bunny Shaw, Rachel Daly. It's just, yeah, she's just a wicked player, and I absolutely adore her. In other news, sorry, Adam.
I was going to say we're lucky to have her, and also it was a great sort of tonic after the striker we lost last week. It was
but I think you know what it was, because you look at that Australia squad and you think, hang on, where's this person? I was sitting there, I was waiting for another bullet from Arsenal to destroy me, and they did the total opposite. I was so happy. I literally just waiting for that thing. Like I'll be honest with you, the notification came up, and I looked at it and I went, nah, not looking at it. I turned the phone over, and then I waited for a good friend. Then G texted me, and I looked at it and I went, hang on a minute, and I had to go and open it, and I got so excited. It was ridiculous. So it's been a good Tuesday for a first day back at work this week. The 2024-2025 season dates have been released. Not the fixtures, the dates. The season will start on the weekend of the 21st of September, and will finish the weekend of 10th of May. The winter break will start on the 16th of December and will run through to the 18th of January 2025. Conti Cup group stage. I will get there. Just don't hassle me. My stutter is evil. Conti Cup group stages will start in early October and run to mid-December, with the quarterfinals scheduled for the January the 22nd and 23rd. Semi-finals will be on the 5th and 6th of February, and the final will take place on the 15th or 16th of March. But please do note these are subject to change, depending on how they lay out all other fixtures and what's available. The Adobe FA Cup is yet to be confirmed. When we know, we will let you know. So there's literally nothing out and about at the minute. So yeah, that's all of our news for now. I'm going to go into the last game of the season now. It's over. We can breathe, relax, kind of recover for about a week and a half before we start winching the football. We missed the football. So, well, that's how long I last anyway. I don't know about anybody else. Let's start off with a bit of team news. So our Arsenal starting 11, we had Sabrina D'Angelo, Emily Fox, Leah Williamson, Steph Catley, Katie McCabe, Kyra Cooney-Cross, Victoria Pelova, Kimmy Little, Beth Mead, Caitlin Ford, and Alessia Russo in our starting 11. And then on the bench we had Manu Zimmensberger, Naomi Williams, Taya Goldie, Katie Reid, Laura Reinvoiter, Leah Codiner, Frida Linnardson-Mornham, Michelle Adjaman, and Vivian Niedermar. Starting 11. How happy were we to see Sabs Goalkeepers Union?
I called it as well, which makes it even more funny.
That's why I came to you first.
But yeah, it's usually the way this goes is that if it's the last game of the season, if there's nothing on the line, you expect your second choice goalkeeper to be in net. We could see it up and down the country with different games, or if there was something on the line, something was you keep your goalkeeper in. For example, the Chelsea game at Old Trafford, you don't see Mary Earps not in goal for that one. She was in goal for that one. Fun for the fantasy league players all around. But yeah, I was really happy with Sabrina in goal. She deserves one more go, especially considering of how it's sort of full circle for her. Started at Meadow Park, finishes at Meadow Park. So I was really pleased by her.
Adam, any thoughts on the rest of the team?
Yeah, there was a few interesting ones. I was surprised to see Steph Catley in the centre back position. I'd sort of gotten used to the idea of Lia Cadena being the partnership with Leah Williamson, with Lotte out with obviously now knows a foot injury. So it was interesting to see Steph Catley back in at left centre back. Midfield, great to see Cara Cooney-Cross in the midfield because we need to see more of her. Get her up to speed. And then we obviously were wondering if Viv would start on the bench. We thought she'd start. Turns out she didn't start. She was on the bench. Looking at some of the news that's come up recently with the Dutch national team that's come up, Viv says apparently that she's not fully fit enough to play 90 minutes. So in that sense, I can understand her being a bench option. So yeah, it was pretty reasonable. I was just hoping that the most important thing is that we get the win and we can sort of send the home fans off who were noisy at the start and, ready to back the team, give them the send-off that they deserve before we all go on our summer holidays. So I looked at that team and thought, yeah, that should have enough to beat Brighton.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was good to see. I think the only surprise that came out at me on that one was having Palova and Cooney-Cross on at the same time, which I was fully expecting Frida to start. So it's going to be, hopefully that's just a little taste of what we're going to see next season.
Well, we did try earlier in the season, before Christmas, we were doing because Velty and Little both injured, we did go for the Palova Cooney-Cross axis and we had quite a bit of joy of it. We got 6 goals against Leicester and 3 goals away at Brighton actually with that. So I think you're right. It may well be that is an angle we'll go down. If Palova continues her growth, eventually she's got to start in that pivot, and then you're going to have to look at one of Kim and Leah and say, well, one of you will have to go out, or one of you have to go to the 10. And maybe that's the same will happen with Cooney-Cross. So no, it was great to see Jonas obviously stick with them. I think they did themselves justice on the day.
No, absolutely. The Brighton starting 11. You're going to have to forgive me because I have forgotten to write down their first names. So we have Bagley, Carabali, Bergsfand, Thorisdottir, Pattinson, Robinson, Lasada, Olme. Is that right? I think. Halle, Lee, and Turland. And on their bench we had Simons. I was told it was Simons at the game. Kohlberg, Stefanovic, and Sari, and Menguen, Loic, McEwen, and Dent. What did you guys make of that lineup? Was it a pretty standard lineup, do you think?
I think so. Turland is obviously the danger player. She's the one that's sort of been making waves at Brighton.
She did have a brilliant season, but I found that towards the end she's quieting down a lot.
Her goals have kept Brighton in the league. I think she got a crucial one. I think it was a home to Bristol City. I think she was sort of their ace. The interesting one for me in that team is Vicky Lasada because she's an ex-Arsenal player. She's an ex-Gooner. And ex-Barcelona player as well as that, ex-captain of Barcelona. And to see her now at Brighton, for me, it's a bit odd. And also the fact that on the day, I didn't notice her at all. I didn't really know. I mean, obviously, I don't know Brighton that well, but considering how the game played out, there was nothing there that screamed Lasada, if you will. So that were those only players that I would sort of kept my eye on. But no, I think it was just standard Brighton. Their slippers are on, aren't they? Their flip flops are on. They've got their beach towels out. Their season's over. They've stayed up. That's it.
Hang on a second. No, the seagull. There was a seagull in the stands. Literally,
was there?
Someone dressed as a seagull. It was brilliant. Because I was down in the south stand. I was right next to the away fans.
Next season, that's going to be a first next season. Palace versus Brighton. That's going to be a derby game. I've forgotten all about that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can we really call it a derby though? I mean,
it is. No, it is recognised as derby. I think it's to do when they share grounds at one point. I think, and I know that it's on the men's side. it is treated quite fiercely. It's like an A23 M23 derby, if you will.
M56 or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the main road out going south of London. But I mean,
geographically, doesn't make sense to me then in that case. Sorry.
But derbies don't often transfer over to the women's games. There isn't, let's say, some of the intense rivalries transfer over. So maybe it'll be perfectly amicable. We'll find out next season.
But yeah, there was one other player that Adam was mentioned that's one player that's actually out of contract. That's Katie Robinson. Now, if you're looking for a club and you're looking at this game, Katie Robinson not the player that you'd probably be looking at. If you would higher up in the table, say looking at Liverpool looking to try and get into Champions League spots, maybe not. Yeah, a shame really, but it's a real shame that you've got some of these teams just go, right, okay, that's it, we're done, we're safe, pull our socks up, that's it, game over, and don't have to worry about anything else.
Is that not a flaw of the current system, because there's nothing for teams sort of mid to sort of high to fight for? Like on the men's side, you have Europa League competitions or stuff like that. There's nothing, if you're not in the top three and you're not relegated, there is nothing to fight for except pride in the table. That's why I think, should there be more relegation slots? There was an extra relegation slot, suddenly there's a bit more jeopardy, and suddenly there's a bit more incentive.
With that though, Adam, wouldn't we need more teams, don't you think? Eventually, I can see it happening, because this one up, one down, it's not for me. I'd want those three spaces eventually, but we haven't got enough teams to do so.
I mean, this discussion
the infrastructure below is not strong enough, I don't think.
No,
the championship in its own right, though. I mean, the fight for the top spot in the end, it came down to 3 teams. It could have been about 6 in the end. If there is a lot of, I would be in favour of using the German system where you have a relegation playoff at the end of the season between these two. So even if you just decide to do it somewhere in the middle of the Midlands, Pride Park, for example. Let's just say it's Aston Villa versus Southampton. One day off, players stay off and stay in the league. I think that would probably be one way to look into it. That one way that might hype the interest a little bit more to see how it goes. But I think we are looking at the team. If I'm honest, I think 16 teams would be the best way forward, not the 18, because I think the 18 is too many. And then we're going to have the issue of the Conti Cup games will have to be reduced and things like that. So we'll have to. It'll be an interesting to see how Nuco deal with all this, because they're going to be coming in.
I think at the moment we're a 12-game league at the moment, so I would say full team is the next step. I think it has to be an even number. It goes a bit weird when you have odd numbers in terms of how the fixtures line up and one team always misses out. I think you would have to up it to 14, and I think you would have to, I would say, have either a relegation playoff or a first place automatic, and then second, third, fourth, fifth do a playoff. I think there is room for growth in that sense. As you say, Matt, it's down to Nuco. But this is a debate we've had on countless pods, and we'll continue to have on countless pods, because I agree. I think a 12-team league, it is too short, which is kind of hypocritical. Not hypocritical, it's kind of conflicting, because we complain there's too many fixtures. So the player trade-off is, well, if there's less teams, there's less fixtures. But we want more teams, which makes more fixtures, which makes the problem worse. But I agree, the WSL is too small, because one defeat, it was originally 3 defeats, and then obviously it was game over, not this time. But like one defeat, and suddenly your entire season's in jeopardy. But the idea is you want that jeopardy. So, and I think you want more teams and more variants.
It's a double-edged knife. You can't win either way, but you've also got to think of the players as well. And we've been, I know exactly. Well, we've been complaining on that they're not getting enough rest, and over the last 3 summers, there's been the Euros, the World Cup. Now we've got the Olympics. When do they get their breaks apart from the winter? They don't. I mean, it kind of makes me happy they do have nearly 4 weeks over the winter break, because they need it.
The international fixture will go down from next season as well. From instead of 6, it's going to be down to 5. So
Brilliant.
They get a couple of. There's going to be a week there where they get big.
It's not quite that simple though, because it's the international periods have got less, but there's going to be more games in the periods. They go from 2 to 3, so there is a trade-off. I should say there was an interesting clip I saw the other week. I don't know if it was an old clip or a recent one, where Russo was actually talking about when she made her move to Arsenal and how they went straight from the World Cup straight into the European qualifiers and how difficult that was, the Champions League qualifiers. We can't have scenes like that again.
I
No,
think
we need
sooner
to.
or later we might see a player strike because of how bad it is, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's only going to take that, or it's going to take something really scary and very dangerous to happen.
Well, something
And
dangerous already is happening. It's called an ACL.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Sorry,
but I
Lottie.
mean little bit more worse than an ACL. Touch wood, it doesn't actually happen, but something like that will happen, and it's going to backfire and it will restructure everything.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of wait and see. Right. So back to the game. Goals from Alessia Russo. Oh my god.
It's been a long
I'm
season.
having one of them nights. It's been a very long season. Do you know what it is? I read Alessia Russo and then I looked at the next name. The next name is Frida Leonardson.
Yeah.
So Alessia Russo, Frida Leonardson Mornham, Leah Codina, and one final strike in an Arsenal shirt for Viviana Miedemar to make it 5-0 at Meadow Park. We started off looking for our 10th home win of the season. We took the Seagulls in the first outing on our new kit for the bright Sunday afternoon. I've got to say that kit is very clean cut. I really like it, but the players who tuck their shirts in, it doesn't work.
Oh, isn't that Katie McCabe you say suggesting? But yeah.
Yeah. You know, some players tuck in their shirts, some don't. If you tuck the shirt in, it ruins the clean cut design on the kit. But what have you guys made of the new kit? Actually, I haven't actually asked you.
No, because I asked him, didn't I? I'm not fussed because I'm not going to buy it, so I don't really.
Oh,
have
we
an
know
opinion.
this, Adam. You've only just retired the other one, which is
I know.
basically in bits.
No, the one from this season, it's holding together. There's only a small bit that's peeled off. Actually, it's in pretty good nick compared to my Mead shirt from about.
It's already
would have been
peeling. It's been a season.
Oh, only one of the words is just slightly peeled off. It just needs to get an iron over it. No, I think it looks fine. I know it was selling thousands because it's got the word Arsenal written on it. So yeah, well, we already know it's sold out because it's sold out apparently.
Yes, because I can't get one.
Well, so it'll be back soon. Yeah, I mean it's an Arsenal shirt. Looks perfectly fine. I mean, there could be worse colours we could have. A plain white shirt springs to mind. But no, it looks perfect. Exactly. There was somebody saying, I think it was because we should say with the shirt, there's a lot of white on it because it's obviously red and white, but I would say there is more white than red on it. I think some of them on the side stuff. Certain people did make certain comments that it was near comparable to another club in North London, but no, I think it looks perfectly fine. I think it's one of those shirts that looks better when you see players wearing it than when you see it hanging up on the preview.
That's better off the hanger.
The previews. Yeah, better off the hang because you see classic cases. The first time you see the leaks of the kits, if you would go, oh, that's terrible, it's awful, it looks awful,
Yeah.
and then you see the players running around in it, like actually looks all right.
No, exactly. It's like I've already said. The leaked images of our away kit looks like a Lynx Africa can.
Yes.
So we'll see what that looks like when it comes out, shall we? And then the third one looks like a bottle of Listerine, which is mouthwash. Is that colour?
I think we might be having another stellar away kit next season.
Do you know what? I really hope so because I really enjoyed having a separate kit just for us.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. I wasn't thrilled with that one, but that's turned out to be my favourite one of the season. It's a bit mad.
Just on that away kit, it looks like a goalkeeper's kit. It doesn't look like an actual away kit. Although oddly enough, it reminds me
the leaked one or the current Stella one?
The leaked one at the moment for the men's. I understand like the roots and everything like that. It's what it's meant to be, but it just looks like a goalkeeper's kit. Essentially, it's if you were to pick Manu's shirt or Serena's shirt, it's just a black Arsenal shirt with green and red on it.
Yeah.
And then you got the white underneath. So essentially, it's basically the same template that they've used, but I'm not very keen on that one. You look at the home shirt again. I wasn't keen on that one. I look at it, whatever reason, whenever the team step on the pitch, it looks absolutely fantastic on them. And for whatever reason, this is now the second season in a row where I've looked at it and gone, you know what, the girls wear it better than the men.
They do.
Yeah,
I don't know why it is.
I've only seen the photographs of the boys in it. I mean, I do want to talk about this. Our captains, Martin Odegaard and Kimmy Little. Who points at the cannon better? I know who's getting my vote.
Is it Kim Little, perchance?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Of course it is.
the angle of she knows.
Yeah.
He's just missing a bit, isn't he? He's not all the way there. He's sort of like
he's not
underneath
quite
it.
at the end. He's just in bang smack in the middle. But
Are
yeah, no,
you a
Kimi
fan
photo
of
was there.
Are you a fan of the cannon? Because we've had the Arsenal badge for years. Are you a fan of
Oh,
the
I'm
return
happy
of
the
the cannon?
cartoon badge is gone. I'm content.
Oh, right.
I call it the cartoon badge because I am, before that one came along, my earliest memory of the Arsenal is the previous badge. And that will
Mm.
always be my badge. And it's also the first badge of the Arsenal women, so to speak, as well. So that is my badge. For me, it's my favourite badge. Cannon's the right way round. It's a nice classic cannon, not as cartoony as it is now. But I do prefer just the cannon in most recent times.
I can't remember what year it was. I think it's the 71 kit with the JVC on it. Actually, no, that would be a bit.
No, that
I
is
think
89.
That's 89.
89.
So that's got the cannon on it. I've got that shirt as well, and that's what it kind of reminded me of. But then you look at the blues part of it. It looks like the Sega kit from that season. Is it 2002?
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
I can't nail it down precisely.
I can't remember, but it had that blue stripe, isn't it?
Kit collectors will be absolutely wanting to wring my neck. I am very sorry right now. You can tell me off later.
I was very young when that kit was around.
Yeah, no, I remember having that one as a kid as well. But it's just
maybe it was 98.
Evaded me.
Maybe it was 98 because I'm sure Tony Adams scored that kit on the last day of the season against Aston Villa. Everton. I did. I don't know what. You know what? I've probably been thinking about. I think you mentioned, because you've been mentioning Villa. I went back to one of my first games at Villa Park. That's probably why. That'd be quite interesting, actually. First game of the season, away to Aston Villa at Villa Park,
and in charge with a new manager. That would be interesting.
Mm.
Right, back to our game. Alessia Russo led the line. She looked absolutely sharp from the outset. She was ready to beat Brighton. Quick footwork, straight down the line, caused immediate problems for Brighton, who were just, I feel, weren't really awake and ready for Alessia Russo.
No.
Our number 23 went on and opened scoring 17 minutes. What a goal. I mean, Adam, you're in the North Bank. You had a better view than I did from the South Stand.
Actually, I wasn't. I wasn't in the North. I was in the East Stand for this
one.
one.
No, you were in the East Stand. Yes, she was. Sorry, I do apologise.
Yes, I was in the North Bank last season, but given the interest in the game, I didn't think it was fair for me to be in the North Bank when I obviously have a seat in the East Stand. So I was in the East Stand for this one. Still got a great view of the goal. I really, really like this goal because there was what we've been lacking all season, which was movement. Passing, like it wasn't stationary, stagnant. There was a lot of energy in the movement. It started Fox out muscling the player on the wing, the ball moving around through the box, and then Russo runs onto it and sweeps it. There's a power, but accuracy as well. There's a confidence in the way she stroked that ball past the keeper. It's too late now, but we are seeing really good form from Russo. It's just unfortunately the season's already finished, and it would have been nice if we saw this Russo at the start of the season, but we've only got this Russo now because of the work she's done through the season. We've had to endure that to get to where we are.
Yeah, but the thing is, we all know it takes time for a player to settle in to a system.
It does.
So.
And for everybody who's mourning the loss of Viv in her first season wasn't really settled and it wasn't the Viv we all knew in her first season. That's why I'm quite excited with Russo. See, if she can kick on from this late burst of form, because she's looked a lot sharper this time. She's leading the line. She wasn't in the 10, she was the 9, and I think we're seeing closer to the Russo we were hoping for. And yeah, it was good because I remember last season how it was such a damp squib for reasons we all can justify and I understand. And given the energy before kickoff, the energy with the band, the chants, the big 11-minute round of applause, which was fantastic to be part of, and just think this needs to be a fairy tale finish. It can't be another damp squib. And thankfully, Russo got the goal, really nice goal. And you think, right, okay, we're on the board. Let's kick on. So yeah, great start for us.
Oh no, absolutely. I think, Matt, that the neat like interplay between Kimi and Victoria in the build up for this, which unlocked Emily Fox in the box. Fox in the box. I know I ended up saying it before the end of the season. I mean, how are you finding the Victoria Palaver and Kim Little relationship building? I know Kimmy's not going to be there forever, but At the moment, she is, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it's important players are learning from the more experienced players in the squads, and Kim Little is the example that everyone follows. Just the way it was played, Beth Mead and Kim Little and Vic, and then playing it to Emily Fox in the box. And I think, if I'm honest, call Alessia Pikachu, because that was a thunderbolt of a strike.
Oh, nicely done. Nicely done.
Oh, that was nicely done. That was by Adam's standards of puns is an A-star. Well done there.
That was
I like
a
that
good.
one.
It was a good analogy, good metaphor. Liked it.
Just on this as well, the commentary team. Oh my god, the commentator. If you do watch it on the Sky, the commentator sounds so bored. And this was it's one of the issues that I have with the FA players, that you get commentators that just sound like blah, 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 blah. Oh, and it's a goal, and there's no enthusiasm in it. And you think of, like, when it comes to men's football, there's a lot of enthusiasm with the commentators. Or you
think of Drury, and that's
Drury,
what we all want.
Ali McCoist and Clyde Tilsley as well. All those sorts of great ones that we have, and it just doing that. It just sounds like you're just not interested, and you just want to do it for the money, which sounds a bit rude.
But the thing is, Matt, that this is a game that was on the FA Player. It wasn't broadcast. It wasn't live. It was on the FA Player. So you probably have to understand that it's a game of little interest, because the focus was on the title race, and also it's the FA Player, so it's going to be on a budget. So you're not going to get the outstanding, well-known commentators go on the game. It will be those who are probably just making their first. No, but it's probably commentators that are making their first steps into the world of commentary. And I think of the likes of Michael McCann. We sort of first heard
brilliant
on
commentator.
And now he's been in the game long enough, and now he's a bit more notorious. So probably on the FA players, probably commentators who haven't quite picked up the enthusiasm needed in the game, and you'll only get that with experience. So I can understand. I mean, I've watched the highlights back, and it's not great.
A bit harsh there, Adam. You've got to have a lot of enthusiasm to go through watching these games and commentating. Yeah. And you do it yourself. You commentate on the games because you've got to go through the motions. It's things like that where you need to feel it. I know you do it for yourself, but people around you are just like, they need that. I mean, I just think of, imagine if you're a blind person trying to watch the match, and you have no idea what's going on, and you just got someone who's really Drury just talking, and it's a pastor Kim Little. It's just Drury, no enthusiasm. Just build it into.
I think there is an element of, you have to bring. There is an element also of over enthusiasm. If you're over sort of zealous in the way you do it, it can also be quite a push. And there is a balance to be had. I think on this one there was a lack of enthusiasm in the commentator's voice, which is a shame. I assume she doesn't. Whoever did the commentary did enjoy the work that they're doing. It'd be strange not to. But in the end, I think in the end as well, how much enthusiasm in the game. The game had no stakes. So what was that? Well, obviously we will learn later on. What happened in the second half. But at the time there was a nice goal. But the game was ultimately meaningless, because for both teams the season was over. There was no narrative in the game at that point. Say there would have been at Old Trafford and at Villa Park, and that might have contributed to why there was nothing for the commentator to sort of latch on in terms of enthusiasm.
No, I couldn't agree more. But it takes 10 minutes to actually learn what shot numbers they are. Names. It doesn't take that long. I mean, we. How do I put it? We complain about what's her name? Hope
Cow.
Hope, with Laura Wienvereiter and etc. It takes 5 minutes. It's not disrespectful towards her in any sense, but she's been around for a long time. You just think a tiny bit more effort would have been put in there. Even with, I think who was sitting, was it P? Was it P? P?
I
think she might. Yeah, P. I think she was sitting next to her, or it might have been Robin. McCowan, yeah, one of those two that sitting next to her at the time. Can't quite remember. But I do want to rewind back a little bit just before that goal, because I caught an amazing shot of Sabrina D'Angelo saving this ball. The Brighton were obviously on the attack, and one, I think it might have been Turlin that escaped her, and I caught this shot of her of Sabrina. She completely grabbed the ball, and the player just completely flew over her from where she grabbed the ball.
Mm.
And I've looked in the background, and I've got Vic Pullover standing there with an evil laugh. Like, you can just hear it by looking at the photograph. And on the other side of her, Kyra Cooney-Cross is looking confused, like, how did you just save that? I mean, Matt, what did you make of Sabrina's first 20-minute performance?
I just thought it was a very traditional Sabrina performance. Go out there and just do what you know best, making sure to collect the crosses, making sure to command your box. Even when she's had her moments where she's been a bit iffy, so Man United earlier in the season, she's made fantastic saves to sort of make up for the errors that she's made. And yeah, she really is a fantastic goalkeeper. I know we've had a little bit of we haven't really had that tribute, but she has been a fantastic goalkeeper for Arsenal. It's a shame that we're going to miss her, but she needs that first team spot, and I'm sure wherever she goes, she's going to get it. And they're going to have a really good goalkeeper on their hands wherever she goes.
Absolutely, and they better look after us, or they'll be hearing from me. Sabrina D'Andro did have a deflected shot from Elizabeth Turland just after Alessia Russo's goal, which was absolutely superb from where I was sitting. Well, standing, I should say, in the south stand. But Russo was on hand to provide some more breathing room. Less than 10 minutes later, pouncing on a loose ball and tapping it in makes it 2-0. Adam, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to come to you first on this one again, because it was just pure chaos from from the south stand. I could not see a thing. What happened?
You mentioned the Turland shot hit the crossbar. So I was looking on my phone, because what we were also doing was keeping an eye on the other scores happening, because we were curious to see if Emma Hayes or Gareth Taylor would got anything to miss out, and it was quite clear after about 10 minutes.
Please tell me you didn't miss the goal.
Well, not quite. I did see the goal, but I was going through the BBC feed, keeping track of all the goals, and I was trying to work out what happened when the ball hit the crossbar. And I was looking through, and I was like, oh, I see, it was a deflection. That's why it went a bit crazy. Deflected on Steph Catley's legs, looped up and hit the crossbar. And the reason I was looking is because the ball had just gone dead. I think it had gone behind for a goal kick. So I was like, right, okay, while I'm sorting it out, I'll check the results. Anyway, I just finished that, and I looked up, and suddenly I see the ball being passed straight to Russo, who shimmies sideways and taps it into net. And I'm absolutely flabbergasted. So what on earth have Brighton just done? And it's the Jonas high press, and this is when it pays benefits that Brighton got very slack playing out from the back. I'm doing poetry again. I'm turning into Emma Hayes. It was so sloppy, the passing out. Just passed to Russo. Arsenal got their forwards in the box, did the press. I'll be brutally honest, it wasn't, let's say, an ultra aggressive press, but the defender just switched off. She tried to pass back to the keeper. She shouldn't have done that. She should have passed out wide or go long. And Russo has read the pass, interstepped through, and it's an easy goal. It's such an easy goal. It's a gift. At that point, you could start. You mentioned about Brighton not being awake, and this sort of exemplified it. That I don't think their minds were especially at the back, were fully in the game. I think they could see the end of the season on the horizon and the summer break, and Manu just had to get through these 90 minutes. They did have, we should say, that one or two moments of threat, which might get to, and Turland was one of them. I said she was no danger player, and she hit the crossbar. But certainly at the back, no, it was very, very poor. It's hard to what's the best way to compare it? This is the same team that went away to Man City and got a clean sheet. Even we didn't manage that. They got a clean sheet away at Man. They're the only other team to beat Man City.
Came back at the. We came back in the last 10 minutes and decided to ruin everyone's season.
It's fascinating.
I've never been so happy and so angry at the Arsenal in one game.
Well, yeah, if Stina could have just scored one goal or not two. But the fact that they were a team that went to Man City with all that firepower, with Bunny Shaw, it should be said, they kept a clean sheet and got the win. And then the same Brighton team comes to our place, and well, we'll see what happens later. But it was shambolic. It does not do it justice. It was a very poor goal to concede. Very gratefully accepted by us. At that point, I'm thinking, right, Russo hat-trick, who's in?
No, to be fair, we were thinking Alessi wants a hat-trick after that second one went in. from my stand anyway. So the rest of the half, we still looked really good. Even Brighton looked really good as well. They kept Caitlin Ford and Beth Mead out from adding to the score sheet. I mean, Matt, what were their shot chances, so to speak, from your end, from at home?
I think the fact that I'm really blanking on here is just sort of shows the sort of game it was. It was just one of those where if you're sitting at home, you're probably too busy like fiddling with something else. Like I was seeing having like 15 different screens on at once because of what's happening with City. I mean, I also had the under 17s game on as well after half time because that was the start of it. It was 4 o'clock kickoff in the end, but it was one of those games where it just it's sort of going one end to the other. But just on that 2-0, just huge congratulations to Lottie Russo and Kim Little for actually combining to actually press. Yeah. The problem with when you play in the shorts, playing out the back is you've got to make sure that you're all switched on. There's no point in playing it short and then playing it backwards and forwards because someone's just going to come in and win that ball like Lottie did and goes and just scores a tap in. Especially
if you do it around players like Lottie, they're just going to pounce it and take full advantage. 100%. If you're not switched on, you're gonna it's going to cost you. So second half.
I was going to say quickly about that Russo goal. She's now got the best goal return, better goal return than she got at Man United last season. That's the best. Yeah, I know. This is what I was saying. Yeah, exactly. With the 2 goals at the end, that's the best goal return she's had. So it's proof that she's on the up, which is good to see.
So second half arrived. No changes at half time. Brighton, the Seagulls did put up a very spirited attack in the second half, but unfortunately for us, nothing came of it. Our back line, superb as always, kept them contained. Just before the hour mark, Steph Catley was taken out in the air with a high tackle. Referees pointing straight to the spot. Kimmy Little stepped up for the penalty. Despite beating, is it Sophie Bagley? If I remember, Sophie Bagley? Yeah, in goal. Yeah. She just hit the woodwork. And I was sitting there. I've actually got this penalty on my phone. And I looked at it and I went, how has she missed that? It's very rare we see that. But she Bruno Fernandes it, Matt. I just...
What makes it worse is that she sent Sophie Bagley the wrong way as well.
Yeah.
So she missed. I don't know how close it was in the end because you were probably closer, but you look at it. Kim Little's got the penalty. Okay, this is going in.
She hit the ball square on the post. I was between the corner flag and the goal, so I had the perfect view. But you literally had the goal vibrating. It was just like, what? Sorry, go on, Matt.
It was just one of those that if you were to bet anything, you'd bet probably everything on Kim Little scoring that one. Every time if I do this thing where I predict where it's going, so I would say Kim Little bottom corner, and you would expect it to go in the back of the net because it's what Kim Little does best. Well, not does best, but it's one of the things she does really well at. Is scoring those penalties, but I think it's 9 times out of 10 she scores penalties. It's just that one time she missed it. Luckily, it was in a game like this.
This was actually my fault because I jinxed it.
What did you do?
I've got a bit of a confession. So I was, because you mentioned earlier about my commentary, and I as I said before, when I'm watching a game, often I'll commentate on the moment for just to talk through it, to sort of try and stay calm. And she stepped up and I said something along the lines of, well, she missed her penalty in our first game of the season at Linköpings. It would be terrible if she missed the last one as well. And it should also be said, she took a penalty in our first WSL game at Meadow Park this season as well, against Manchester City. And that one was saved. So there was a great element of bookending. Of course, she steps up, takes the wrong way, and she has now missed the last penalty season. She missed her first penalty, she missed the last penalty, she also missed. So, maybe it was my fault. But that's 3 missed penalties, 2 in the WSL, 3 in all competitions this season. And for a player that we know and trust with penalties and has historically been very good from the spot, and she scored against London City Lionesses and she scored against Manchester United from the spot. Am I right in thinking that she's missed more than she's scored in all competitions this season?
I would come back to that stat because I
can't
it's
think of
not
any more.
something I
but
want to do because it's never a poor performance from Kim Littles. She's that solid 9 out of 10 every game. So
It's just is the Kimmy magic wearing off because she's so reliable from the spot? Are we seeing the first sort of chinks in the armor? Maybe I'm reading too much into it, and maybe if she had more penalties, she would have scored more. We wouldn't mind so much. But that's an alarmingly large amount of misses. I would expect 1 per 2 seasons. Just in 3 and 1 is a bit sort of. But that was just the way I was seeing it. I was a bit surprised by that.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from, but it was just. It was a bit of a weird one. I still can't. It's happened a few times this season, and I can't get my head around it. But Frida Leonardson-Mornham, Leah Cordina, and was subbed on the 62nd minute, and for the final time in the red and white, Viviana Miedemar entered the field. I mean, the ground absolutely lit up in that moment for Viv, and it was. I don't know about you, Adam, but it was just. It was electric, but it was also a really sad moment for me.
Yeah, it was bittersweet. That's what it was. It was a bittersweet moment, and the build up to the game, it had all been about Viv, and rightly so. All the talk before the game was, make it about Viv. Don't make it about, say, the politics around it. Just keep it about Viv. Celebration about Viv. That's why we had all the chants about Viv. To be honest, chants we hadn't even heard often in the North Bank, but chants faintly we were hearing now. I mentioned about the applause, and I was thinking if we get to the end of the game and she's not subbed on, or she's like chucked on with like a minute to go, the pitchforks will be out. They'll be rioting in the streets of Bournemouth. So
I'll be honest with you,
grateful.
it did kick off in my stand. There were arguments breaking out because there was a bunch of a lot younger fans that obviously haven't been watching football for a very long time. They had their pitchforks out for Jonas. Someone told them to shut up because it was about Viv, not Jonas.
Correct.
And it all kicked off, and I was going to say something, but I got told not to do, so I behaved myself.
No, don't write to that.
Is it? No, but it's just a case of it was about Viv. It's not about him. You can have your pitchforks out for him all next season if you want to. I don't care. Yeah. But this last half hour of the game is all about Viv's, and as fate has it, our number 11 scored. Her very first touch of the ball, and she's done absolutely countless times for Arsenal Football Club. Beth Mead found Viviana Miedemar, run into the box, straight a bit past the keeper for our third goal. And I'm glad I had my sunglasses on because I actually cried at this one. I got a photo of her celebration and all the celebrations afterwards, and also the magic shot. So I'm really pleased with myself, and it's just a moment that I will treasure forever. But yeah, I did cry.
Yeah, it was a hard one. I mean, it was one of those ones when you saw her run through, you thought goal. You knew she'd score before she even took the shot. You had the confidence because this was the Viv we have not seen all season. We've not seen Viv in that position in the game, running clean through, clear of the defence, and taking the shot first time confidently and scoring. We've not seen that all season, and there is an element of
fitness,
what
fitness and things like that. That core.
No, not that. But with the fan base, putting sort of like your Viv goggles on, you see that and you think, yeah, that's it. Why are we getting rid of her? That's exactly what we need next season. I'm thinking, and that's why. And there is watching that, you do get a bit sort of teary eyed. I think, oh yeah. Maybe it wasn't, whether it's a mistake or not, we'd definitely debate it, but you think, oh, maybe we should have kept her because you think that goal, you could be done with that. But then I have to rationalise and think, yes, but we haven't seen that for the other 21 games. Yes, on their injured, but when she's been playing the rest of the season, we've not seen that. We're only seeing this Viv, this sort of whisper of Viv with the last 30 minutes of the season. You can't base an entire contract extension on a 30-minute cameo at the end of the season. But what it did do is it gave us the fairy tale moment we all wanted because, I'd said on the preview pod, I saw the game at Liverpool, the goal at Liverpool, and it was very special, but it was great that she gave something to all the home fans who couldn't have gone to Liverpool or weren't there, like obviously yourself, Lottie. And it was part of almost the perfect end to an incredible career at Arsenal, for an incredible footballer. And I was really proud of her, pretty glad for her that she got that goal.
It was great work from Vic, and it was very similar to Beth and Viv, always how their combination works. It was just a very classic goal from the both of them. Yeah, I'll feed you in, you go and score. And to do that with your first touch is probably even more impressive. You don't see that very often, and just simplifies the way the game gone. Is just seeing the old classic combinations and players was great.
No, absolutely. I mean, after that, it was just the momentum continued to build. Leia Cadena headed the ball goalwards from a corner. I personally thought it was her goal until I looked back on my score sheets, and it ended up being Caravalli's own goal to make it 4-0. But Matt, what did you
I'm
think
laughing.
of this
I'm
one?
really sorry, because this was if this were had
You
its own
missed
show,
it.
it would be on Comedy Central, because
Okay.
of how comical it was. The fact that you head it, hit the post, and then Sophie Bagley is trying to stretch to reach it, and she's not got enough height on it, and it's just gone in. It's just this was Comedy Central all round. And
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you, it happened so quick from myself that I didn't see it.
Yeah.
It just went in, and I was like, "Go on."
I mean, it's a real shame, because that would have been Leia Codner's WSL goal.
Yep.
Yeah,
First
she got
goal
one in the
club.
Conti Cup, but it would have been the
She did
first
get one in the
WSL
Conti
goal.
Cup, didn't she? Sorry, to apologise.
Yeah, Reading.
Was it Tottenham? In the
No, it was no Reading. Was it Reading?
Right, okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she thought she scored against Spurs, but that was actually a Turner own goal. So that's 2 own goals that have stolen goals off her. It was from my angle, because I was obviously looking for the East End. It was a bit chaotic. Interesting. Before that, I think Viv had a moment where she sort of jinked through the defence in the classic Viv of old, and her shot got blocked out for a corner. And that was the moment I thought, yeah, that's why we're not keeping Viv, because in the moment where she could have shot in first time, she didn't.
Yeah.
She gave the an opportunity to get back, and I was like, yeah, that's why one of the many reasons. Great thing was set piece goal. I mean, miracle. Great header from Cadena, and as Matt said, I was watching it. The player on the line, I thought they're going to head it away, and then just goes into a big ball of confusion, and then suddenly you realise the ball's in the net, and it's when you hear the announcer not shout the name immediately, that's when you realise it's an own goal, and it's calamitous. As calamitous, I'd say, as the second goal we scored. So not a great day for Barcelona for Brighton. Hardly Barcelona.
I know you're out
Barcelona.
in Spain, Adam.
I know, less Barcelona, more Espanyol. Brighton defending not great in that instant, and 4-0 at that point. It's party time, and you're just hoping, can we get a fifth to round things off?
Yeah, no, I think for the rest of that game, Sabrina D'Andrea pulled off a series of impressive saves to stop keep a wonderful clean sheet that I do adore so much, especially for my fantasy football. So it was a brilliant final performance from her. And 5 minutes to go, Michelle Ajimai makes her first appearance since signing her senior contract with the club. Did feel she was kind of quiet, but it was the end of the game and it was winding down. But I can't wait to see what happens with her next season. 88 minutes on the clock. I know Miedemar's goal was magic, but this was something else. 88 minutes on the clock. There's still one more opportunity for some more Miedemar magic, ironically. The Dutch forward picked up the ball in her own half, shifted her body and pitched a perfect through ball through to Frida Leonor to Mornham. And the Norwegian just beat the keeper with ease and making it 5-0 on the final day of the season. I mean, if Viv is not scoring, she's setting beautiful goals up like this.
Yeah. I loved it. I loved it. I loved the pass. We spoke before about the way that Viv took out an entire team for a pass for Stina for her goal. It wasn't quite that, but it was just the weight of the pass, the timing of the pass. It was close enough. Obviously, she was on the halfway line. It actually came, I think, for a Brighton attack, and I was really pleased with the speed of the counter and the timing of the runs. And to get Frida clean through, you're like, right at the end of the game, come on, one more to finish off, and you're just hoping that she hits the target, doesn't skew it wide, or so everyone can beat the keeper. And well taken goal. And it just, we spoke about the fairy tale. We got a Viv goal, we got a Viv assist, and for her 30-minute cameo, although I think it was always going to be the case, regardless if you played or not, got voted the player of the match.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah, surprise. I love this goal. I loved it very much. And Frida's had a bit of a difficult season. We know that. It was great that she got a goal to sort of sign the season off. Really nice finish. And it was a perfect way to sign off. And yes, there was a bit of added time at the end, but I think we would have been spoilt if we'd got any more than the 5.
Yeah, but what I want to know is from you two, where the hell did they get 8 minutes from?
Probably because of the injury to Catley with the penalty, maybe. All the substitutions, there were quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a rumour that we actually finished with 10 players because McCabe went off injured. But that was a rumour.
I didn't see her come off.
No, it was a rumour I heard on the socials. Again, I don't know how true or not true it is, but it was just something I saw on the socials. But it sounded like there were a few knocks and bumps. I hope nothing too serious. Stina didn't even play. I mean, we got that one wrong in the team sheet. She wasn't even.
She didn't play. I kind of saw her pre-game with her partner when she was walking out the ground. I was like, "Where are you going? We need you inside."
Well,
so
turns out we didn't.
But she was present in the stadium, sitting with Vivian Leah, Chloe Lacasse, and Leah Volti. I saw from the south stand.
Yeah,
they were all sitting in the stands. Well, your stand actually, ironically, I didn't probably be opposite end to you. All in their Arsenal gear. They were on the pitch at full time. So are we glad it's over? We're done. We can relax.
It's the old Lord of the Rings meme, isn't it? It's done. It's finished. It's over. I said it at this point earlier. It's not the season we wanted. There were moments in that.
We knew it was the season of transition, of bringing everyone back from their ACLs.
I think
as well as bringing in new players.
Yeah. I remember with the men's team when we were told, it's a season of transition, it's a season of building, and you can get behind that. But at the same time, you still feel the disappointment because you wanted more nonetheless. And it does feel at times when you consider how good we were against Chelsea and Man City, you just think, again, we always feel like, Chelsea were there for the taking this season, and every season they still win the league. You think last season, there was a chance there for us, and this season we beat Chelsea 4-1. You think, it's there for us, and it again slips through our fingers. And the only way you justify these seasons is if the future seasons become really good.
Yeah.
And again, to think about Arteta, they got 2 8th place finishes, but you can justify that because we've now had 2 back-to-back 2nd place finishes. So it's a clear progression. So if we accept 3rd place, 50 points, so it's more points than we got last season. It's another trophy, which is great. We didn't get the WSL we wanted or we'd hoped for maybe the start of the season, and maybe we got a bit ahead of ourselves with all the great signings, like some Lacasse, Rousseau, and so on. But there is hope, as I said. There is, with some of the stuff we're seeing through the rise of Palova, Rousseau becoming stronger, Stina staying on as well. That maybe we got some grains of hope that we can take into next season, and hopefully we can build upon this. If we can get 50 plus points next season, that's good, and hope we can just keep going onwards and upwards.
I think as well the fact that there has been some good history and bad history this year. Bad history obviously being we've lost to West Ham and Tottenham in the league for the first times. But it's monkeys off the backs now. It's the case of, okay, this isn't going to happen. We've got to make sure that we go out to these places and go and get these points. The fact is, as I think, Adam, you had a stat when we played our away to Chelsea. We haven't won there since the 5-0 thrashing that long ago. It's just getting to the point where next season, with how Chelsea are going to be, I imagine it'll be interesting to see what happens with City, because are they going to keep half the team, or is the half the team on the way out? That would be one to contemplate. I'm a bit gutted that Lauren Hemp's staying because I really wanted to see her at Arsenal. Well, I'm not the only one.
You're not the only one, Matt. You're not the only one.
Because Hemp, Mead, and Russo up top, with a Kim Little or a Palova, it would have been fantastic to see. And
it could be a dream one day. Just wait and see.
Maybe. I mean, our contract's up in 2027, so maybe then. But at this moment,
time to wait.
At this moment in time,
2 seasons.
at this moment in time, there is moments we've witnessed and gone, that's been great, but we need to kick on. We can't just keep winning the Conti Cup and nothing else.
I mean, the
if I'm
Conti
honest,
Cup's nice.
yes, let's be real. I mean, the men's haven't won anything since the FA Cup apart from the Community Shield.
I was going to say, don't take that off me. I was there.
I'm not. I'm just
I like
pointing it out. It's just
I
one
like
of those
it,
things
it's a
that
nice
go.
shield.
Some people are about, but it's just one of those things where you think
It's-
you need to kick on. And I think I've mentioned this a couple of times. I want to see us back at Wembley again. I want to see us fighting for the league. I would love to have another semi-final in the Champions League. We know it's going to be difficult. If we had the time, I could read out who we could potentially get, but I think we'll leave that for another time.
That's a podcast for another time.
Yeah, it's just there's a
Absolutely.
lot that you look to the future now. Just wait and see what's going to happen. But it's going to be very much wait and see, especially with the transfer window. It's round that corner.
Absolutely. Speaking of the future, I know the season's over, but fear not. We will be back every Friday. In the UK time. You could be tuning in from anywhere in the world, any day of the week, but we will be here every Friday. Well, I think most Fridays at the minute we're planning with a weekly update for you guys. So we won't be around as much like twice a week like we are during the season, but we will be having content for you over the summer. What updates of transfers, the Olympics, and whatever else comes up and our way. I know we will be starting early September for the Champions League. Is that right?
Yes, believe
Yeah.
so.
So we will be back then. If you do want to keep up with us and see what we're up to, you can follow the pod at VAW Pod. Or if you want to follow one of my co-conspirators, where can they find you, Adam?
Well, you can find me in a few places. You can find me recording my holiday in Barcelona and Bilbao at Adam Salter 4. And if you are missing out on the Arsenal women, now that the boots have been hung up and the kit's been packed away for another season, I'm currently running the Arsenal Women Archive, where we're putting up clips of the Arsenal women matches of old on the archive, and so keep an eye out for the updates. You can find that at the AW Archive. Plenty of old games coming your way during the off season.
Matt?
You can find me at MattLR28. You can also follow the pod on VAW Pod.
Matt, I already mentioned that, but thank you.
Sure to remind
I
everyone
did do it
twice.
first. No, it's fine. It's
Just
fine.
don't
Creature of
forget
habit.
to tickle
Creature
that
of habit.
like button and give it a nice little hug on the like button as well. And we do enjoy your comments as well.
No, absolutely. And I will give Matt and Adam a very big kick if you are asking them specific questions, and they will reply eventually. If you want to follow me or catch any of my WSL snapshots on Instagram, it's at Lottie AWFC. But for now, we will be back on Friday with Matt at the wheel. Until then, come on, you Gunners.